You know what's kind of beautiful about getting older? You stop cringing at who you used to be and start actually kind of liking that person. Millennials, aka the kids who brought you MySpace, side bangs, emo style, and overly filtered brunch photos, are finally owning the things we were once kind of humiliated by. Gen Z might idolize what life was like in the late 90s and early 2000s, but actually living it? Highs and lows. And we're all about embracing those lows now that we have the wisdom that comes with age. So today, we're running through 11 things millennials used to be embarrassed about, but now, we're proud of them. Number 1, wearing glasses. Remember when wearing glasses got you labeled a nerd and not in the cool Marvel Universe way? Being called Four Eyes was brutal. Like, excuse me because my eyes don't work and I like being able to actually see things. Stupid beauty standards made glasses wearing a major faux pas. That is until we made them the height of hipster fashion in our teens and 20s, and now they're power. They say, I read the terms and conditions. Number 2, pairing socks with sandals. Now, we all laughed at our dads for this, and even in college, there was always that one 19-year-old guy who wore only cargo shorts and white crew socks with those Adidas slides. Like, literally, what are you doing? It's snowing outside. Anyway, socks with sandals were decidedly not cool, other than that brief period of the 90s when they were a grunge staple. But now, we're rocking socks with Birkenstocks and calling it elevated streetwear. It's giving peak 1997, and you'll pry them from our cold, dead, feet, I guess, except they're not cold, they're toasty warm from the socks, and feeling footloose and fancy-free from the sandals. So there. Number 3, full eyebrows. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, women plucked their eyebrows into thin little apostrophes because Cosmo said so. Ladies were really going for that I don't have eyebrows, I have eyebrow pencil look. All that over-plucking means millennial women are now trying to regrow those caterpillars over the eyes with expensive serums because, surprise, sometimes brows don't grow back. And they were never the enemy in the first place. Learn from millennial women's mistakes, young people. Number 4, being in therapy. Remember when this was seen as a huge red flag? Now it's the greenest flag there is. Therapy used to mean something was wrong with you, and mental health challenges were heavily stigmatized for millennials. Now, we're done pretending we're fine. Over half of us have either gone to therapy or are currently in therapy, even if only as a tool for improved self-awareness. It may not fix all your problems, but it gives us a safe space to explore our inner minds and helps us describe our past experiences. We're healing our inner child, and we're talking about it a lot. And it's caught on to those older and younger than us too, so we're all the better for it. Number 5, oversharing on social media. Listen, we were raised on LiveJournal and MySpace, and vulnerability was always part of our internet DNA. We were the first to write status updates and make our favorite songs a kind of identity marker. We curated our feeds and shared our deepest insecurities in every caption, and we started so much drama with our MySpace Top 8. We tried to show the world a crafted, curated view of ourselves, but we couldn't help being painfully authentic along the way. The Gen Z killjoys might call it cringe, but it's actually connection, and we don't care anymore what you think about it. Number 6, living at home. This one used to sting hard. We all wanted out the second we either graduated high school, turned 18, or took another path that would get us away from the rule of our parents. You only lived at home because you were kind of a loser and had literally no other option. But now, with housing prices doing the absolute most, especially younger millennials are like, yep, I live with my parents. And sometimes it's financial survival, sometimes it's emotional support, but either way, it's the economic reality we're in now, and we had no hand in creating it, so there's no shame in it. Number 7, obsessing over astrology. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, if you talked about Mercury retrograde, people assumed you were different. If you actually read your horoscope regularly, you had to pretend it was ironic because people thought you were either a big ol' capital W weirdo or, kind of dumb. Now, astrology is everywhere. TikTok, apps, dating profiles, it's mainstream. Spiritual influencers abound online, and millennials are no longer hiding their moon signs because it's acceptable these days to be kind of woo. And thank goodness, because now we have a way to understand what the heck is wrong with all the Sagittariuses in our lives, and I say that as a Sagittarius with a Scorpio rising and a Virgo stellium. Number 8, taking selfies. We all got dragged for our duck-faced selfies and excessive photo taking back in the day, but documenting our lives was never about vanity. Okay, it kind of was, but it was also about capturing the moment. Author Kate Kennedy writes that the 2000s getting ready ritual known as the pregame was electric, and taking pictures for posterity was always part of it. She likens it to reclaiming the experiences of girlhood that were easily written off as frivolous and unimportant. And now millennials tend to see selfies the same way. A thing once regarded as cringe that is not only nothing to be embarrassed about, but something to embrace. Number 9, wearing sweatpants in public. Millennials were so burned by early 2000s fashion, all those juicy velour tracksuits with rhinestone logos, and it took years to recover from the trauma of all those low-rise bootcut jeans and then skinny jeans for both genders. But then the pandemic hit, and suddenly sweats were back, baby. It was rebranded as athleisure, and now it's our daily uniform. Thank goodness. The rhinestones across the posterior are still a hard pass, but we will go out in that sweet, sweet cotton poly blend fabric, which is what some people call progress. Number 10, spending Saturday night at home. We used to feel so lame for staying in. We'd all put on our going out shirts, which were usually some express button down for guys and some top made mostly of strings for the gals, and hit the club, baby. Or more often, we'd opt to wear business casual to the club for reasons none of us to this day understand. But anyway, it was all in service of that most hallowed of weekend traditions, a hangover. But now, staying home is a flex. If you cancel plans and spend the night in the aforementioned athleisure watching a true crime doc, congrats, you're living the millennial dream. We've traded FOMO for peace, and we are never going back. And finally, number 11, hanging out with our parents. In our teens and 20s, the idea of chilling with your mom on a Friday night was so tragic. So embarrassing. Why would I want to hang out with some boomer when I could go get an Annie Ann's pretzel at the mall, or better yet, hop on AIM and stalk my crush? But now we're older, wiser, and realizing that, at least for those of us who are not estranged from our parents, those hangouts are actually the good stuff, the thing that matters. Time is precious, and suddenly so are our aging parents. Spending time with them is a gift, and we wouldn't trade it for anything. So yeah, some may call all this millennial cringe, but we're embracing it, because growing up doesn't mean leaving your past behind. It means learning to carry it differently. And we millennials are carrying it with style, lots of therapy, and probably a pair of socks with our Birkenstock Arizonas. Thanks for watching YourTango. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.